Welcome back, guys. Stasa23 here. I had a subscriber ask me yesterday if I could do a video on a couple of my sub 3-inch knives in around the $200 category. He's on a college budget and he wanted to know what, the best bang for his buck. And I asked him any knives in particular in my feed that he'd like to see, and he picked these two: the Spyderco Chubby and the Benchmade Valet. We'll put the Chubby aside for a second, and we'll start off with the Valet. The Benchmade Valet is coming in at around $170. Very compact, classy. I'd say gentleman's carry. Very thin, compact. Something that you could wear to church, wear with a suit. Be very discreet. Um, it's a flat ground, about 3/4 of the way up the blade. Blade length is around 2.96 inches, and it's blade steel of Bowler M390. One of my favorite steels, that and M4. Great steels. Keeps an edge for a really long time, and I know Benchmade runs there 60 to 61, I think, and it's pretty good hardness. As far as ergonomics go, it feels pretty good in hand. It's not the most ergonomic knife in the world, but at this size, you're not going to be, chopping a tree down or something. It's, do a quick cut, maybe cut up some cardboard, and it'll do all those tasks fine. It's got a nice attractive top swedge that goes almost the whole length of the blade. Thumb studs are comfortable. Deployment is good. um, it's a pretty smooth action right out of the box. I have cleaned this one out and lubed it up, so it definitely can be smoother. It's on phosphor bronze washers. You can flip it out. You can non-discreetly slow roll it. It's tip up, left or right hand carry. Nice deep carry pocket clip. I really love this pocket clip. With this smooth G10, it really allows it to get in and out of the pocket without a hassle. And I always put a lanyard whenever I have a deep carry clip to make it easier to pull it out of my pocket. It's got the axis lock. Let's see, maybe a little side to side and a hair up and down, just from the inherent nature of the axis lock for the majority of them, especially the smaller ones. My only complaint with this knife at all would be if you can't put it in hand first before you buy it, because I'll be honest with you, I went to a local gun store to get mine, and I went through probably 6 to 10, not 6 to 10 of them before I found one without blade, without any major blade play, that was smooth, that was centered, and that's not the best thing in the world for a almost $200 knife. But if you can get one in hand, or if fit and finish doesn't really matter to you, like as far as blade centering and a little bit of play, then I'd say definitely go ahead. Let's go ahead and we'll move on to the Chubby. Now, I'd say the Spyderco Chubby, the name says it all. It's a Michael Birch design, and this thing is chubby. Let's close it up so you can see. It's rather wide in the pocket. Nice. Look at that stout blade stock. I got to check and see what we're rocking at. It looks, I'd say probably over 4 millimeters, but I could be wrong. Wait, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, yeah. Almost 4.5 millimeters. That's pretty thick, especially on a sharp knife like this. If this is something that you're looking for and you're wanting, you better go ahead and grab it as soon as you can, because this model has been discontinued, and I was only able to find it on, I think, GP Knives, and they were selling for around $175. So I got mine for a really good deal because it was the discontinued closeout sale. But, I'd say it's up to you whether you think that it's worth that price tag. Um, it's titanium frame lock, as you can see. It's got a deep hollow grind, both in the main bevel and the top wedge is it's a nice contrast with those meeting hollow grinds like that. I think it's a very, very sexy blade. Uh, what else? I like these carbon fiber inlays or inserts. I think it's a nice little touch. I know some people didn't like that, but I mean, with all the just plain titanium frame locks we have out these days, I think a little touch of something is always nice. You got a rather small lanyard hole. You could probably fit some gutted paracord in there. You got a little partial G10 backspacer, semi flow-through construction. This one is also running on phosphor bronze washers. Very smooth action. Let's see if I can do it behind the camera. Yeah, see, I can middle finger flick it, and I don't know if I can flip it. My thumbs aren't that strong, so you can do it though. This one, when you put them together, the Chubby is a tad bit shorter in that dimension, but I mean, look at the width. I mean, you can almost fit two valets in one of the birches. But it's all kind of what you're going for. If you're going for the overbuilt tank of a knife, and you want a knife that may be a collector's piece, being that it's discontinued, say go with the Chubby. But if you want, I think if I had to choose between the two, and the discontinued part wasn't a factor, the Valet hands down. I mean, the M390 steel, you're paying right around the same exact price. You're getting M390 here, S30V here, nice smooth deployment. Thin blade stock on the Valet, so this will be a nice little slicer. Even though this one's going to be a pretty good slicer also because it's got a deep hollow grind. They both have nice pointy tips to pierce. And I forgot to mention some of the negatives with the birch. I'd say for me, there's a lot of sharp edges. Like I said, my fingers, they're more fragile than a normal person, and this area, there's no chamfer up here. That's a sharp edge. In one area, being this lock bar has a lot of tension behind it. I mean, you can hear it. Listen to the thwack. Yeah, it's got a lot of tension behind it, and if you can see, it's a 90-degree angle right there, and it's not the most comfortable thing to disengage. Just if I'm being 100% honest, I would choose this all day long. if like I said, if the discontinued part wasn't a factor for you, if it was both of them were tied, I would go with the Valet. I mean, I love M390 steel. This design speaks to me more as a collector and a user. But these are two great options. I'm also going to show you some quick other options. I think the Techno is another great option in the around $200 mark. If I had to choose out of these three, I would say Techno hands down. I just love the design. And this knife, when you get it in hand, it just works. I mean, at first, when I first looked at it, I was like, man, this could be, that thick blade stock and, flat ground. It's going to be a nightmare of a cutter. But boy, was I wrong. The CTSX HP steel in here is great. I love the finish. I love that polished stone wash type, like kind of on the Bowie. Love that The handle is almost like a bronzy, like, distress pattern. That's another, option in the sub $200 mark. Now, if you needed to save some money and you wanted a good bang for your buck, I got a few options. The Cold Steel Mini Recon. The ergonomics on this knife, I have a medium-sized hand. The ergonomics are outrageous. They're great. I mean, that finger goes in there and this one here, and then these two wrap around. And I don't have to say anything about the triad lock. If you're looking for a hard use overbuilt tank, this is a great option. It's definitely not for everybody. I wish it wouldn't be all black tactical looking. I wish they would have had maybe a stone wash blade. This is a CTS XHP model. And you can get this one for around the $90 marker. To me, that's a great value. And probably one of the best values, it's not the best looking knife, but functionality and value wise, you can't beat the D2 SE Zancudo. I mean, the ergonomics are good. The steel is not, they kind of run it a little soft after sharpening it. I mean, I could tell that it was, softer than some of the other D2 that I've messed with, like some of the Benchmade D2 was harder. Brouse's is way harder. But, I mean, so far I hadn't done tons of cutting, but still, to me, no matter what, it's still a good value. I mean, look at the price range in these. And then this one coming in at around 35 bucks. I mean, I don't know. And I think one of the best values, and if you're looking for maybe say a sub 3-inch non-locking blade, this one has been in my pocket a whole bunch. This is the Boker Tech Tool single blade. I absolutely love this knife. I was cutting some thick rope the other day, and I was testing out some of the blades and the geometry. And I think this one, let's see, I think it's the 12C27. Let's see, yeah, 12C27. That Sandvik steel, nice polished, nice and thin hollow grind. G10 scales. It's a slip joint, like I said. I mean, it's almost like a Swiss Army knife with a pocket clip. I love that, and it has a glass breaker. I mean, I could take that or leave it, but still a cool little feature. This one has definitely grown on me. Like I said, if you're looking for a non-locking variant, this one, I think, let's see, this one's right at 28 bucks. To me, that's a steal of a deal. I mean, I don't know. That's a lot of knife for 28 bucks. It definitely, if you like a good slicer, you can't beat it. So here's some of my examples. I hope this helped. If anybody would like to see a video on anything else in my collection or have any ideas of something you'd like me to talk about, this is a little therapy for me. It's definitely my time of day where I get to relax and kind of forget about any pain that's going on in my life, and I get to talk to you guys. So please leave me some comments down below. I love interacting with fellow YouTubers. Like to make some good friendships out there. Let me know what you think about the video, and I will see you later.